Yeah. We need a screen, Adam. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we welcome you to coverage of the NASRA 360 Racing Network and the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series. This is the final race of the round of 10. We're going to determine who will be advancing to run for the championship in the round of 6 at tonight. This is the DSR Electric 250 again tonight from the virtual Talladega Superspeedway. We're going 100 laps around this 2.5-mile facility. I'm Wesley Outland. Joined alongside will, of course, be William Tiller. And William, Talladega never disappoints. The field is already on the track. You're going to see the lineup here in just a moment on the screen. And this should be an exciting 250 miles here at Talladega.
Oh, yes, sir. No better way to decide that championship 6 with the sweet high banks of Talladega. I'm so excited about tonight's race.
Lineup is posted. Doucette, White, front row. Blanchard, Broadfoot. Better knock them out real quickly. There you see your first 12. The next group of drivers getting into place behind Morales in 12th. Next group of drivers for the lineup.
Yeah, looking at that 11th spot right there, we have Steve Barnett. 12th, we have Jason Morales in that 5. Looking past Jason Morales, we have Hartwick. Then next to him is Robbie Richards. Kerry Tribune will start in the next row with Taylor Peacock. And rounding out our top 10, we have the 29 machine of the Animal, and we have Lance Miller.
Yeah, behind of course, Adam Newbert will be Lumpkin, Kynes, Hunter, Hagan, Lothian, and Blanchard, Johnson, Meza. 30 drivers. Of course, TJ Moore, the race director. And we get ready to go here for this race. Again, 100 laps. Stage 1, going to go to lap number 17. Kind of a different format, if you will, for the numbers. 17, 39, and 100 for your stage counts. Field works their way through the tribal here at Talladega. Of course, if you're new to Talladega, it's not in the tribal like at Daytona. It goes all the way to turn number 1 at the exit of the tribal. That's where they're at right now. Green flag goes in the air, and we are underway here for the penultimate race of the season. The DSR Electric 250 is green. And Joey Doucette, the P1 man, the man leading the points, the man with the most recent win, is pulling away over Newton on the back straightaway there, William.
See that separation coming off at 2. He's leading that DSR electric machine on the inside. Joey Doucette's already locked into that next round. He just wants this championship victory on the outside, though. You see Justin White, he's being pushed along. What a race this is, Wesley, as we head into 3 and 4.
Newton looking inside, looking outside as they work their way back through the corner. Down into turn number 3 and out of 4. Brian Chu now tucks in line. He'll make a move on the white machine as they work off turn number 4, storming through the tribal down to the line. Adam Newton.
See that separation coming off. Adam Newton is leading Brian Chu across that line. You see behind him, though, Joey Stires. We're 3 wide, all ready for 3rd. Wesley, this race is heating up, already 2 laps in. This is going to be quite the shootout here at Talladega. Not only do we have that primary championship to race for, we have that consolation championship as well as we're shooting down the backstretch.
Down the backstretch, Adam Newton, followed by Joey Doucette, Brian Chu. There's White up on the outside. All these drivers fighting and clawing for those spots here in the early going. Again, this is a long way to go in this event. Working only lap number 2 when they come to the line of this 100-lap contest. Newton now powers to the bottom. He'll make a run on the machine of Doucette. White will follow. LaBeouf also in the top 5 as they work off the tribal out of 4.
But Joey Doucette to swing from the high side down to the low side. Right now, Justin White's holding operator LaBeouf on the top side as the field comes roaring into the corner. We're right on board with the Fort Myers, Florida man of Brian Chu, that 51 on the low side. He's had a pretty good season so far. Wesley holding it down inside the top 5 as you see the Joker pull off. He's not liking the draft early on in this race.
All this going on again as they work now. Joey Doucette with a problem. Doucette drops to the inside of the flat of the apron, stays below the double yellow line. Now he'll peel back up in front of the rear of the field. Problems on the 16, or it could be strategy as he goes all the way from the penthouse to the outhouse in the early going.
As mentioned, that 16 machine, as we like to call him here, the Joker, he's locked into the next round, Wesley. So this is essentially a practice race. I know a checkered flag at Talladega would be sweet, but right now, Justin White in that grinds machine, he's grinding it down. You're on the top side as he's leading Brady LaBeouf. As you see a new low side form down there, Wesley. Things are getting crazy as Justin White goes to the low as we're off at 2. Into 3 and 4, Justin White leads the way as you already see a lap truck on that high side of the racetrack. Brady LaBeouf on the top side. Things are calm as we come off of 4 here on lap number 4. This is the Hoopties Garage 200. This is it, folks. After tonight, we'll have our championship 6 as Justin White takes us across the line. Make it lap 5.
Justin White now the new leader. He's got Hartwick in tow down to the bottom of the racetrack. Newton will follow. Here comes the second line trying to get formed up for the middle lane. That's Brady LaBeouf trying to lead that cavalry. He's got Osborne in tow. Kerry Tribune also in that mix. And they'll do-si-do 2x2 while White stays single file. He gets a shot in the tailgate by Hartwick as they work the backstretch going to 3.
You see the fireworks already here. Wesleyers are down the backstretch. We see that third line trying to form. Kind of early for that here on lap number 5. You're going to see a lot of 2x2 racing once everybody starts to get comfortable. Those Goodyear Eagles get broken in. You start to see some creases in those Goodyear Eagles. You'll see those 3 lines start to build. But right now we're drag racing down the front stretch as Justin White and Brady LaBeouf will take us through the Geico restart zone. Another lap in the books as we head into Wilmington.
But another lap on the board again right now, as we mentioned. Now Brady LaBeouf now will power his number 24 to the top spot. He'll go to the lead on the outside lane. White hung out on the bottom. Osborne will follow. So will Hartwick. They're picking the line, and here comes a third groove coming to fruition on the top shelf near the safer barrier. He's working hard. That's Brian Chu to the top side. They'll go 3 wide as that's also Adam Newbert up in the top of the banking as they work into 3.
And Wesley, have waited so long to say this, but here comes the money man on the outside. Adam Newbert is back here at Nazareth, and he's trying to take home the checkered flag. He's trying to lead a charge on that high side as Raul Meza joins the party. But our leader down the front stretch here is Justin White in that 2. Hold up, wait a minute. It will be Brady LaBeouf across that line, leading that lap as we're 3 wide into 1.
3 wide, 3 by 3 by 3 by 3, 4 rows deep, if you will. Finally, 2 by 2 behind them. This is too antsy, too fast in the early going. But Adam Newbert, a former inaugural champion of this series, winner, the money man. Remember what he did back in February and March of this year, in the spring. He is now back again in Nazareth, and he is up on the outside, leading the cavalry, trying to go to the lead into 3.
3 by 3 by 3, and you see Justin White, he's all out on that island as he leads the low side off of the corner here. A lot of names up here in this mix, Wesley, but you know just as well as I do, we're going to see some yellow flags as you look at this shot here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Right on board with Kerry Tribune in that 7. He's in that danger zone lane, Wesley.
Working now, 10 laps to go here in stage number 1. Justin White is the leader. Zach Hartwick second. Brady LaBeouf now moving to 3rd. Adam Newton top 5, along with Ed Osborne. Everyone else behind them sticking it 3 wide. Kerry Tribune in the middle. Newbert up on the outside. Brian Chu all in this mix. Also Hunter Parsons in the middle as they work the top 10 into turn number 3.
A shot right here, folks, on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. As we come off a 2, you get a shot of the who's who here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. Justin White leads us off on the low side. Joey Starr is right there. Brian Chu, Adam Newton, Kerry Tribune racing out of Orange, California. He's in this mix as well. Hunter Parsons in the 15. Wesley, they're all here. They're all racing it out as Brady LaBeouf in the middle leads the way.
Justin White now will go to the lead. put that number 2 back to the top spot. Brady LaBeouf up on the outside. Newbert will still continue to be about 3 truck lengths back up on the outside lane up near the safer barrier. Now he'll tuck in line behind the machine, also there on the outside lane, and close back in the top 10 with Joey Stiers. Now closing in on 10 laps to go. Here they work off the corner, closing in on lap 10 is what I meant to say as they work through the tribal. It is still between LaBeouf and White through the tribal out of turn 4.
And I just absolutely love the sweet high bang, sweet home Talladega, as I like to say. We're right on board with this 15 machine. Hunter Parsons are riding out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Probably a little bummed about those Packers yesterday, Wesley, but he finds himself on the high side lane. He's getting past, though. Nobody looks as though they want to work with the 15 as we come off a 2.
All I know is I'm happy that my Pittsburgh Steelers took care of the LA Rams yesterday afternoon, for sure. Right now, Brady LaBeouf in the lead, the Louisiana driver. He is now the top dog in the 24. By the way, Brady LaBeouf is currently second in the points. I would say he's going to be one of the guys for the Championship 6 next week. But right now, all of this happening as they work off turn number 4. Got to be patient. Can't be too aggressive as we're working the end of, believe it or not, stage number 1. It is not the Hootney's Garage 200. That was last week. The DSR Electric 250 rolls on into turn number 1 as the laps wind down in stage 1.
Yeah, stage number 1 will have 17 laps. Stage number 2, Wesley will race it down to lap 39. Then after that, these drivers will get just about 61 laps to decide their championship fate. 3 sets of tires, 0 fast repairs, and an 80% fuel capacity. It's everything we love about Talladega, Wesley. And early on in this race, we've seen 3 wide racing already as we come off the corner.
Working down the back straightaway now. New man up in front. This is going to be now Adam Newton. Adam Newton, one of those drivers that is trying so hard to advance into, if you will, the Championship 6. He's in the number 5 seed right now, and currently he needs a win. That spot being on the bubble just ain't enough, if you will, William. He right now holding off the likes of White and Newton, also with Hartwick and LaBeouf. All this going on as they're scrambling for points, and the stage points are up for grabs as they close in on 5 to go at the line, this time by in stage 1.
This is crunch time. This could be your championship fate. You talked about Brady LaBeouf from that 24. He's predictably locked into that next round. He was ahead of that buffer about 24 points, Wesley. So with a top 10 in this stage, you can all but say that 24 is the next championship driver. But right now, Wesley, who's to say, as we're 3 wide across that front stretch, now back to 2 wide up at the front. It is Adam Newton, Justin White, Brady LaBeouf, and Zach Hartwick taking us into 1.
Back to turn 1, Adam Newton now by himself. He is the lone wolf up there in that top spot, but for how long here in the DSR Electric 250? Right now, stage 1 again, to lap number 17. They'll go all the way to lap number 39 for stage number 2, and then all the way to the lap 100. 3 sets of tires, plus the ones they started with. 80% fuel capacity. That's something you got to remember. They're not on 100% fuel load. So I'm thinking between 28 to 30 laps is when they're going to have to pit between 35 to 40 at 100%. Also, incident points at DQ at 21, 3 attempts at overtime. And as we go 3 wide right now with the front row, all this going on as you see Newton in the middle of the race as they go back off into corner number 1.
As we have that right there, Hunter Parsons now on that top side of the racetrack, Wesley. As we talked about, the end of the first stage will happen on lap 17. Hunter Parsons has come from that. Oh no, this contact 15 in the wall. Big pile up off of 2. Oh my goodness, Wesley.
Trouble. Back straightaway. Big trouble. Caution out. First time here. Osborne all tore up. Some other drivers also involved. And the yellow flag will fly here at Talladega in the first remaining laps, less than 5 to go in stage number 1. Chris Blanchard involved in his machine, the yellow number 9, usually a white and blue number 9, all tore up. You could say his night will be done. Other drivers.
That top side of the racetrack, Wesley, as we talked about the end of the first stage.
Wow.
Lap 17, Hunter Parsons has come from that. Oh no, this contact.
William, you got an echo of the race broadcast, or somebody has the race broadcast playing in their ear. That's where I'm hearing the echo. We're under the yellow flag here as we are going to step away and take a break, as right now that's our first serve precaution of the race. Drivers will either go on the damage clock or they might be out, like Chris Blanchard. Mere laps remaining in stage number 1. Let's see real quickly what happened to put us under caution here. Newton and Parsons, and it looks like William Tiller, there was just a little contact, I meant to say, and then all of a sudden you stack them up 4 or 5 deep, nowhere to go. And then you got to scramble from the bottom of the apron of everybody trying to miss what happened up on the top.
Yeah, just one of those big pileups here at Talladega, and just an unfortunate race. But it's going to be one of those here tonight, Wesley. It's going to be fireworks. It's going to be a lot of broken hearts. This is the last race before we decide the Championship 6, and Chris Blanchard rocking a new paint scheme here tonight at Clinton, Maine. You know, I got to give it to Chris, though, Wesley. He's had a rough season. He was a playoff driver, got eliminated a few weeks ago, though, but comes in here every week. Probably about a top 15, top 10 truck, but here tonight it's going to have to, unfortunately, retire early from this one.
Chris Blanchard, Ed Osborne, Brian Chu. Those were your drivers that were involved in that accident just a moment ago. We'll check and see, obviously, what damage is on the 28 or the 51, because we saw how badly damaged the 9 of Blanchard was, and there are drivers that are making pit stops. We also might need to confer with race control and TJ Moore, because this might also count as stage number 1, William Tiller. That's something to think about here. I don't think they can get back going again before the end of stage 1.
No, I think that would bring an end to the stage. I think it was close enough. If anything, if they re-rack it, probably 1 lap to go in the stage, I think they would probably call it here. And who wins the stage, though, Wesley? I believe we were 3 wide or 2 wide. We were very, very close when that caution flag flew.
Yeah. I would say Justin White right now is the man that's leading the way, but obviously I don't know if they're going to go back to per se if that was the time of caution or whoever is leading across the line, because we just did see pit stops just happen as well. Everybody just came down on pit road, lap number 15 here. So like I said, your 80% fuel capacity between 20 to 28 laps is what normally you would go for probably pit stops. If you were at 100%, I would say 35, 40 laps, maybe pushing it. But again, when you've got that 80% fuel capacity, that's all you can put in the truck. And William, I think that's a strategy for sure that we're going to definitely be watching, especially during this race tonight, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we have it here at the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, you see this pile up once again off of 2. If we could take a look at those playoff standings, that's unfortunately going to collect Brian Chu there in that 51. There's going to be Joey Stires going to have some damage out of this. And just to bring the folks up to speed of who's in that championship hunt, some of those drivers might have been involved. Brian Chu in that 51, heavy damage. And what a disappointing night this is going to be, Wesley, for a guy started out this race with a lot of promise, started inside that top 5. He might be able to keep that thing going, might be able to get a top 15 out of this, but it's going to be a long night there for Brian. But looking back to those championship points there, Wesley, I think one of the names to watch out here in this race, he won this race back in July. That's how long this season's been going for, Wesley. Jason Morales in that 5, currently on the outside looking in, but tied for that very, very last spot. He finished 3rd last time here at Talladega. Of course, we had some guys, but Jonathan Wiley finished above him in that race. Cody Sanderson, they're not in this field here tonight. But watch for Jason Morales in that 5 to have a great run.
Field is getting 2x2 again, and we should be ready to settle in for a restart. By the way, this will officially launch stage number 2 in the DSR Electric 250. Again, so close with the caution coming out at the end of stage 1 that they went ahead and let the stage end here. And we will go into lap number 17, which would actually be where the caution would be thrown for the end of stage 1. But however, we're going to go right into stage number 2. This will go all the way to lap number 39 here tonight in the DSR Electric 250. William Tiller, I'm Wesley Outland. Adam Fligger working on the production and the broadcast, of course, for NASRA, the penultimate race of the season, season 2. And then, of course, the championship finale will, of course, be next Monday night, Halloween Eve, if you will. The final race, the race to determine those 6 drivers that will battle for the championship. Make no doubt it should be highly entertaining. A lot of bragging rights to find out who will join Adam Newbert as champion of season 2. He was the season 1 victor. Of course, the champion when it was all said and done at the end of the rainbow. The field gets ready to wrap up another Serve Pro caution. And again, the race finale next Monday night at Auto Club Speedway. Green flag goes back in the air. Stage 2 of the DSR Electric 250 underway. White got a little punt there from Stiers. Newton up on the outside. It'll take him about a lap to come to speed back to turn 1.
As we enter down the backstretch right now, Wesley, sort of a weird restart there for the field. We're single file there, only 3 trucks on that lead side there with Justin White, Joey Stiers, Adam Newton, Zach Hartwig on that 71. He maintains inside of that top 5. Nathan Maurer making some early moves in this race as well as the bottom half of that top 10. That's filled with some dogs there, Wesley. We got Lance Miller, Jose Luis Rivera, and now Raul Meza, who's up 22 spots here as we come off of 4.
Working down into turn number 2, back straightaway. White on the bottom and the work off the corner now. Coming out of turn 4, working off the banking into turn number 3. It's White holding on to the lead. Look who's powering up on the outside. Nate Maurer now with a burst of momentum on his own to the top side. That goes on to the top 10, back to 1.
Back to the top side of the racetrack here. Adam Newton, Justin White, Joey Stiers, Hartwig, Brady LaBeouf. Joey Doucette off of the corner. Justin White on the low side. He gets a little wiggle though out of the 23. 23 is eager to get to the top side of the grid here on lap 19. They're pushing, they are shoving as we're entering into 3.
Everybody fighting and clawing for those spots up in the front now. Of course, they got to mind and reset. This is into stage number 2. 20 laps to go, by the way, when they come to the line. That's one thing, William Tiller. These stages are very odd numbers. 17 laps for stage 1, 39 for stage number 2. And they are also going by fairly quickly, is what I meant to say as well.
There's no time to waste here, Wesley. You cannot make any mistakes, any kind of small thing that maybe during the regular season that you could say, okay, I can recover from that. Here in tonight's race, you've got 100 laps to make it into that championship 6, and you alluded to all the things that entails. It also entails a huge payout, Wesley. If you're able to take home that championship, we're talking maybe in the upwards of $400, $500 for some of these guys. So a huge payout awaits these guys if they get inside the top 6.
Shuffling inside, outside, lap number 20 of 100, 1/5 of the way through, about to be a quarter of the way through when they come to lap 25. And remember, lap 39 will be stage 2, the Glass Mechanic stage 2, by the way, race winner. Up for grabs, and right now Newton shuffling inside, outside. Open up the door now to White on the bottom. Stiers will pile in on the bottom as well. All this happens with Doucette now, the man number 1 in the points. He's just along for the ride. He wants to win, but he advances to Auto Club next week because he's in the cavalry in the top 5 of the back straightaway.
The Joker's already waiting on the West Coast with the rest of these guys, but he wants to take a checkered flag with him across the great states of America. As we enter into the corner here, Adam Newton, oh, he slides into that danger zone lane. It is Halloween season. He was a little frightened there, as now he finds himself back in that middle side lane. It's getting a little discombobulated, Wesley, on that top side, as Justin White leads us on the low across that front stretch here, making another lap in the book.
Another lap when they come storming through the tribal. Look at Doucette now. Pushed on the outside. He's going to have Nate Maurer in the middle lane. Osborne on the bottom, and they're going to go 3 wide again very quickly behind the top 2, 2x2 into 1.
In no time, there will be no inch spared in this race. We are seeing 3x3x3 every step of the way. But here comes Tyler Dimmer in that 34 machine. He'll lead the high side. Remember him, Wesley, that 34. He could have been the guy in that championship 6, but he's going to take some checkered flags home with him before this is all said and done, trying for another one here tonight, leading that charge on the high side.
3 wide, top 2, White storms on the bottom. He'll go to the top spot. Here comes now the Joker. Joey Doucette, a little pushing going on up on the top lane. Give him some room, and now here comes Brady LaBeouf with the help of Newton, storming up the middle lane as they work into turn number 2.
Oh, coming off a 2, Justin White, Joey Stars on the low side. Now Joey Stars goes to the middle. He throws the block on the 24 machine, and Brady LaBeouf, who pushes the 23 along. You got the 23 and the 24 working together in the middle side lane. Here comes the Joker. He's just asking why so serious as he's leading a charge on the high side with some high line racing crew. Tyler Dittmer up there, as well as Jason Morales, as we're 3 wide off the corner.
Down that backstretch now, working to 3 and 4 through the tribal. Here goes now, lanes changing, inside, outside, outside, inside. Doucette now hugs up and hooks up with LaBeouf and White and Meza and Maurer on the bottom lane, but here comes more trucks steaming up on the top. They can't decide whether they want to go top or bottom. Here comes now the outside lane, trying to get formed again near the top of the safer barrier. That's going to be the 34, Tyler Daniels. He's hung out, Tyler Dittmer, my apologies. He's hung out to dry now, and here he comes with a big burst of momentum as they go to the back stretch into 3.
I say remember him, Wesley. He was our regular season champion here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. As that top side lane now looking for some friends, as we're now down to 2 for the lead. Right now you see that Highline Racing Machine of Jason Morales, Brady LaBeouf. They're side by side. Joey Stars is on the top side. Joey Doucette on the low side. We got the Joeys up there as we're heading into the corner here. Another lap in the books as we creep towards the end of stage number 2.
Yeah, remember, lap number 39 will be stage 2 here tonight at the racetrack at Talladega, the DSR Electric 250. Right now, Brady LaBeouf holding on to that lead. Morales now at the second spot. Doucette, Stiers, White, they're all bunched up with one another. That'll change the top 5 now as they work into turn number 3.
As mentioned, Jason Morales won this race back in July. It's been that long, folks. Every single Monday night here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series, Jason Morales trying to get another victory here in this series. And what a time to do it. It would put him in that championship 6. He would join Brady LaBeouf and Joey Doucette. But we got a long way to see as we cross that start-finish line into 1.
Working now off the corner out of turn number 4, coming to the stripe. Look at now Doucette dropping to the bottom of the apron. He is now going to fall back. It's that mistake there, William. It's just you literally lose all the momentum you have. But by the way, that might be strategy by the 16. We've seen him do that in stage 1 as well.
Absolutely. It's a good strategy, too. Just sort of lay low here. Don't press the issue too hard. You don't want to be caught up in some kind of craziness up here. As Brian Chu, I talked about the damage I saw on the 51 to see if he can stay in the fight. He's doing exactly that. He's trying to get up here. He's creeping up the grid just a little bit, trying to rebound from that early trouble he had as Lance Miller right there as well. And Wesley, I believe that caution that Brian Chu was involved in are only on track of the caution so far.
On board with a Fort Myers, Florida driver, Brian Chu. All this happening now. Dittmer up on the outside. Tyler Dittmer, the regular season champ, as colleague William alluded to. Broadfoot now starting to show his momentum in the top 10. While all this happens, Jason Morales trying to turn things around after a heartbreak last week for him. Was probably one of the star trucks and got wrecked out in stage number 3, and then all changed for the 5. Jason Morales, by the way, now back in the hunt. Oh, and by the way, Jason, if Jason can get it done, William, he is the number 7 seed. He's the first man on the outside looking in with a win. He'll bump up behind Doucette in P2.
Yeah, I say Jason Morales won that race back in July because the 2 guys that finished above him are no longer in this field. We look at Jonathan Wiley, look at Cody Sanderson. Jason Morales was the fastest guy. You look at those lap times. You look at everything involved in that race. He was right there at the end, especially on a track like Talladega to finish 3rd at the line. Wesley, no better way. And from what I remember about that race, the 5 had a chance at the very, very end. It just came down to one of those photo finishes. That's why he is my pick here in this race. But we see some guys maybe falling off the pace. Chris Blanchard back out in this field. Hats off to him here trying to finish off this season on a strong note.
And there's Blanchard again that was caught up in that accident. I'm going to say he took the time repair way in the back of the pack. If that was the yellow truck, I can't tell. It's so blurry right now. As the leaders work their way back off into the corner, Morales on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Stiers up top. Stiers now opens the door. Brady LaBeouf, White on the bottom. Here comes Newton, all going on now. 10 to go in stage number 2 at Talladega, William.
Absolute crunch time here as we're side by side into one. Brady LaBeouf, Jason Morales, Joey Stiers on the high side. He's pushing along. Justin White hasn't faded back at all. He still finds himself inside that podium position. Raul Meza, the DSR electric machine of Adam Newton. It is the who's who of Nazareth as we're off of 2. Jason Morales, he is racing his best race of the year so far. Can he keep it together? Can he avoid the big ones in this race? We'll wait and see as we're drag racing down the backstretch.
Backstretch into 3. LaBeouf up on the outside. Carrying that momentum and that time right now. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 3 by the first 6-8 rows. And then they get 3 wide behind them. Scattered amongst the pack in the back. And right now coming to the line. Here comes Hunter Parsons. He'll jump out of line. He'll try to make it 3 wide for a minute. He'll try to hook up with Dittmer. All this goes on as they cross the line and they work into turn number 1.
Coming into 1 right here, Wesley, has been as tight as you can get it here on lap 31. Just a few more laps to go. This is your last chance at stage points. This could be your last chance to advance inside of that championship 6. This is crunch time. You put the pedal to the floor. If you get caught up, so be it. You gave it your all, Wesley. You need every point you can get, as Jason Morales trying to do just that as he's to the inside of Brady LaBeouf as we're out of the corner.
Morales, LaBeouf, right there side by side, working down off of turn number 4. Coming back through the Yellowwood Trioval. Storming through the Geico restart zone. Under 9 remaining here. Coming to the stripe. Morales now opens the door to LaBeouf. Then it's Morales and LaBeouf again, 1 and 2 by 2 1/1000ths of a second. Stiers is now going to 3rd. LaBeouf going to the lead on the outside as they work off 2.
Did you see that wave coming off of the corner, Wesley? The entire field moved with the draft. What a shot. Oh, as things just got a very, very scary up here at the top as Brady LaBeouf and Joey Stiers almost collected each other. That would have been absolutely massive. As we come roaring around the corner once again, Brady LaBeouf on the low side, Joey Stiers with him, pushing him along. Adam Newton up there, Wesley, but I don't think we've seen the last of the caution flag here in stage number 2.
Yeah, we'll see what happens right now. They're definitely very antsy, closing into the line. 7 laps to go this time by in stage number 2. The Glass Mechanic stage 2 here in the DSR Electric 250. Right now, Stiers, bottom of the racetrack. He carries the momentum of the lead. LaBeouf, Morales, Newton, top 5 with wide as they work off 2.
Oh, Look at this power pack coming down the backstretch here into 3 and 4. Bray LaBeouf, Joey Stars,
Caution.
Newton, and the Serve Pro caution flag waves. Oh, that might be the end of stage number 2, Wesley. We'll have to
We've got a yellow flag. We'll have to see how fast they can get this restarted. Remember, lap 39 is the end of stage number 2. Let's find out what happened here to put us under the yellow flag. Something that happened in the back, William. Oh, Broadfoot.
That looks like the 69 of
Hammond.
Tim Hammond back there, and the 22 of Brennan Broadfoot.
Yep.
And that's Justin Lumpkin there in that 18. And Justin Lumpkin, he actually has a victory here at Talladega here at NASRA. Not this season, but the previous season here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. And what a pile up there. Like you mentioned, that was in the back of the pack there. Just some guys trying to jockey it out for spots.
So the second yellow flag out. Everybody now needs to decide whether they're going to come down to the pit lane now or before the end of stage 2. I would say this. There were 2 laps remaining in stage number 1 when the caution came out before lap 17. There's 6-7 laps to go here in stage number 2. Betting man, William Tiller, they're going to get stage 2 restarted.
Yeah, it looks as though we'll essentially have a green-white checkered finish there in stage number 2, Wesley. No better way here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series, as we mentioned here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. After tonight, we'll have our championship 6. We'll know who's racing it out for a championship, Wesley. And here in this green-white checkered restart, there could be a lot of points, give or take here, depending on those results.
That's exactly right. And make no doubt about it, if you're one of those people that need as many points positions as you can, you're going to desperately make that here right now, because those final playoff points, stage points up for grabs right now in this race. I see a couple of trucks pitting, William, in the top 15. Tyler Dittmer, Jose Luis Rivera, Blake Lothian, Broadfoot, Hartwick, Richards. Those trucks are pitting, yes, but everyone else has not. And Brady LaBeouf right now holding on to the #1 spot to try to do what he needs to do to be the Glass Mechanic Stage 2 winner here at Talladega.
And it looks like we will have a green-white checkered finish here in stage number 2. Of course, as we mentioned, stage number 2 is sponsored by Glass Mechanic. Glass Mechanic is a family-owned and operated business founded in 1921 with 4 generations of families serving the Phoenix area. Contact Mike at Glass Mechanic with all your home, window, shower door, and custom glass needs. With over 100 years of experience. There's no window shopping needed. Contact the Glass Mechanic on Instagram or at yourglassmechanic.com. We're just so thankful to have them on board. They've been with us all season long, Wesley. That's Glass Mechanic, yourglassmechanic.com.
Yeah, DSR Electric also being the title sponsor of tonight's event. And also thanks to ServPro Fire Water Cleanup and Restoration. Thanks to ServPro for being the caution sponsor for the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series. And by the way, William, you know this to be a fact true, brother. We literally will crown the champion at Auto Club next Monday night. We'll take off for a couple of weeks, and I think mid-November we'll fire back up for season number 3 of the Sim Racer Hub Truck Series. For NASRA, they literally might take a couple of weeks off, and then they reset and come back full and come back strong.
Absolutely, and it's that time to allow other people to come in. We have some recruitment races in there, some practice races. We have some dual races to kick it off, a qualifier too, so it gives us some new drivers opportunity to get their feet wet, so to say, Wesley, and also gives some of these other drivers a chance to really get back in the truck, get back in it. And I think, Wesley, although it is a quick turnaround from season to season, it keeps folks interested. Sometimes if there's big breaks in between the season, you know, life gets in the way, or you have other things that pulls you away from staying on that schedule, staying consistent like this, I think it locks the guys in here on these Monday nights.
And the field has the lights off on the pace truck. It's lap number 35 of 39 in stage number 2, meaning that when they come back around to the line, it will be 4 laps to go in stage number 2. So let's set it up for you for the restart. Brady LaBeouf, Joey Styres, front row. Couple of Chevrolets on the front row. Couple of Toyotas in the top 5 behind third, including Adam Newton, Jason Morales, and Brian Chu. Justin White is in 6th in the Chevrolet. Chevrolet Raul Meza, Chevrolet Nate Maurer. And there's your top 8. Row 5 will find Hunter Parsons and Joey Doucette. That's your top 10. Remember, the reason why I mentioned the top 10 is only the top 10. William Tiller gets stage points at the end of the Glass Mechanics Stage 2. And right now, Brady LaBeouf looking to try to rack up some more points. As right now, if he can't get in by virtue of a win tonight, that will be a must, as he's right now the number 2 seed. I would say this, unless something crazy happens to Brady LaBeouf, by virtue of points, if he wins this stage, William, you can write in and put a check in the bank that Brady LaBeouf is going to be one of the Championship 6 at Auto Club next week.
Yeah, looking at that same fact too. Brady LaBeouf came in about 20 points to the good. Hunter Parsons maybe in the same position there, up 15 points. But here we go, Wesley. Let's get this thing rocking and rolling once again.
Ready for the field to come back to the Geico restart zone. Final laps remaining here in the DSR Electric 250 in stage number 2, that is, as they'll have about a 61-lap run to the checkered flag as the green flag flies here at Talladega. Right now on the jump for the restart. Brady LaBeouf hugs the bottom lane. Newton will give him a punt there. That's the DSR electric machine. Give him a shot. Went to the bottom of the apron. Joey Styres on the clear on the outside. Here comes now Brian Chu as they work off 2.
Brady LaBeouf gets loose. Saves it though, folks, as he's on the low side. Brian Chu will push him along. Joey Styres there with Adam Newton. You will also see Jason Morales, Justin White up there as well. Raul Meza, he's in the fight as we're 3 wide into 3 and 4 as Brady LaBeouf trying to lead the charge on the low side. Adam Newton next to him as we're side by side off the corner.
LaBeouf and Newton, Chu and Styres, followed by also Meza. Meza driving right up the outside lane behind Chu.
Oh, no!
And he got a turn. Styres gets into Adam Newton. Newton got collected. Here comes truck scatter through the front straightaway lawn. Here comes now Nate Maurer. He's involved. I don't know. We got trucks littered all down below the bottom of the apron. Brady LaBeouf is going to pick up the Glass Mechanics Stage 2 because we've got a massive accident on the front straightaway, and the caution is out.
That stage will end 2 laps, about 2.5 laps.
What happened in the first stage? Yeah, look at this. Joey Styres, bump draft gone bad in the left rear, firewall deep to Adam Newton. Hooked him in the fence, and then you got to watch everything that went on behind Brady LaBeouf on the bottom of the racetrack as we get ready to go to a replay here. Look at this. Turned, Newton in the fence, and then you got these other trucks. The first pink truck. What pink truck was that? Was that Dittmer?
I'm looking at maybe Hunter Parsons involved in that as well. Dittmer, Morales.
Hunter Parsons might have been the one that did it. Yeah, my screen is so blurry it's hard to see. But Parsons, I think, was the one.
Oh, no.
It was. Yeah, here we go. It's starting to clear up here. Parsons got clipped by Newton. He tags Doucette. Doucette into Parsons. Was that Morales? That's Morales.
Yeah, I was going to say, Wesley, is Morales okay in that 5?
Yeah.
He was in the middle lane. I want to see how much damage the 5 sustained.
Yeah, Jason Morales is the one that kind of bounced off the back of the Newton truck.
He definitely got banged around there. I'm curious to see because he came into this tied for that last spot just on the outside looking in, Wesley, depending on how much damage there was to that 5 machine of Jason Morales.
Wow. Everybody's pitting, by the way. This is the end of stage 2.
Yes, sir. Yep, that'll bring an end to that stage. I'm just curious because oh man, that's going to be so many playoff implications right there. Championship implications, Wesley. We are in the playoffs. It's going to be championship next weekend.
Hunter Doucette, obviously. I'm sorry, Joey Doucette, part of the accident. He's the only guy that's got a mulligan because it really doesn't matter whatever happens to him tonight at Talladega, William, he goes on to Auto Club next week to race for a championship.
Absolutely. The Joker locked that in last week at Chicagoland, a track that we don't go to too often at all here at NASCAR or even on iRacing. But looking at those points table, though, Hunter Parsons, we talked about him in that 15. Now, he was 15 points to the good. I want to say the 15 makes it in, even though this halfway point incident might hurt him a little bit in that sense. Nathan Mowers, another one of those guys. Wesley only 7 points above that cut line. And you had 3 guys tied for that last spot. Adam Newton, Joey Stiers, and Jason Morales, with Kerry Tribute only 1 point away. So many spots still to be decided here. And these guys still in the fight.
So Brady LaBeouf will win stage number 2. It is presented by, of always, the Glass Mechanic, and we'll get his take of things here, of course, as it is in the books for one of the drivers of Misfit Motorsports, Mission 1 Esports, actually, and we'll get his take. Brady LaBeouf, stage 2 winner. Got a little crazy there at the end, but you're doing what you need to do to lock up as many playoff points, stage points you need to go to Auto Club. And I said this unofficially on the broadcast. I think you're in the number 2 seed. You need to do. I think you're going to transfer, but that doesn't stop you doing what you need to do to continue to rack on more points. Congrats.
Well, that was the goal, Wesley, was to get as many stage points as possible. I got 18 right there. Had to fight hard for it. Man, that block I had to put on Newton was big time. I had the steering wheel turned 90 degrees to the right. But yeah, got 18 stage points. That's probably going to be the most out of any driver, so I'm happy with that. And now we might ride in the back a little bit just to kind of see how this plays out. And now it's all about finishing, Wesley.
I'll tell you what, definitely got to do what you got to do to stay out of trouble, because I think it's going to get more chaotic definitely in this third and final stage.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who's all been caught up in the wreck. It looks like the 23 and the 82 were definitely involved right there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure about Parsons. I know
Doucette, Morales,
yeah.
Parsons. Yeah, there was some pretty big heavy hitters. The only one you really ain't got to worry about, like we mentioned, Joey Doucette, because he's going to Auto Club next week.
Yeah, exactly. And he's one of my buddies helping me out. So I know I got Joey helping me. It's just, man, that 2's fast. I'm worried about him winning it in. But like I said, I think we should be good as long as we just get a top 10 right here.
It'll be a fun one for sure. William, got anything for Mr. Brady LaBeouf?
Like Wesley said, it looks like you're already locked in. Don't want to jinx you, man, but I know it's going to mean a lot to you if you can lock it in to be in the championship hunt once again in your own series. Rooting for you there, boss man.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Wesley.
All right, there's the thoughts of Brady LaBeouf. We'll let him get back into his role with the Mission 1 Esports team. And not done yet, William. We're ready to rock and roll into stage number 3. And this is the run to the checkered flag. It'll be almost 61 laps. In addition to that, it will also be the final race before we lock in the 6 drivers that'll run Auto Club for a championship.
In the words of Terrell Owens, get your popcorn ready because we are in for a show. Wesley, let's rock and roll.
Field ready to wrap up another Serve Pro caution. They are back in the Geico restart zone as they come to the line. Hartwick and Lothian, that's the name we've mentioned not much tonight so far, but when it counts the most in stage 3, here comes the 43. Lumpkin, Broadfoot, all in tow, but Rivera your top 5. Green in the air, the third stage. The run to the championship is on into 1.
Coming off the apex of 1 into 2. Now down the backstretch of a side-by-side battle for the lead. Hartwick in that 71 machine. He's trying to hold it down. Blake Lothian up there. Brandon Broadfoot. All these guys are in just a little bit older equipment, about 4 laps. As right now, it is Blake Lothian taking us into 3.
Down that back straightaway into that third turn. Here comes now bottom of the racetrack, Lothian. He'll go to the top spot. How about Broadfoot? Even through all the turmoil and dismay he's had in the opening couple of stages, he is right there in the dogfight in that number 22 machine. And Jose Luis Rivera, also a man that had a run to the championship, just missed making the round of 10, if you will, William Tiller, by mere positions, and he's trying to go to the lead. He'll go to the lead as they go into turn one.
Jose on the high side as he's leading Ryan Chu, who was involved in an early caution in this race. He has rebounded quite wisely is right now right behind him. Taylor Peacock in that 81. He's trying to push him along as we have a new high side lane being built up down the backstretch here. A couple of new names in the mix, including Dan Hagen, who is up 23 spots. The drop of the green flag.
Working off the back straightaway. Now coming to the line in the tribal off of turn 4. It is now opening the door to Rivera. Now inside, Taylor Peacock with a shot from Lothian. Chu with a shot for Rivera. They're 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, and they do-si-do again up the bank, and it's Talladega to 1.
Into 1 we go. This is the meat and potatoes of the race. Taylor Peacock takes us off in the lead. Beautiful shot here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network as he gets a bump from behind. You see Brendan Broadfoot there in that 22 machine. And Wesley, I got to say, I love the breast cancer awareness paint schemes here on this wonderful Monday night as we're side by side into 3.
Working in the third and fourth turn. Rivera now up the outside. Here comes Peacock with Lothian, Broadfoot, Hartwick, Meza on the bottom. Up top, you've got, of course, Rivera up on there, going with Chu and some other machines in this mix with also Newbert. Newbert has Dan Hagen. That's a name we really haven't mentioned either up in this part of the race now in stage 3. Right now, Newbert looking inside, outside, might go to the middle as they work the backstretch.
Coming on the backstretch here, side by side. Laps are ticking down for those guys that want to lock themselves into the Championship 6. Taylor Peacock on the low side of the racetrack, not seeing those names rise to the top. As Jose Luis Rivera, he's holding it down. Could be one of those sleeper picks in this race, coming off a motivating factor of not making it into the Championship 6. He is side by side with the 81 off of 4.
Back through the tribal. Here he comes back to the line. It's going to be now Taylor Peacock inside. Lothian follows. Rivera and Chu. All this going on now side by side. 2 by 2 by 2. No one breaking out of line inside the racetrack. We're coming up on it halfway in about 6 more laps. Yes, right there in stage 3. There is still 56 laps to go as Rivera leads them on the back straightaway going to 3.
Jose Luis Rivera. Like Wesley mentioned, it will not be a Championship 6 driver next week, but boy, he's had one heck of a season trying to add another tally to it here tonight as we have a new race leader, Brian Chu, Wesley. The 51 somehow, some way finds himself leading the field in off of 4 down the front stretch.
Working outside and falling back.
The money man.
Going to be also Osborne. He tried to get something started up there, and he still can't get up to the top as Newbert now will go to the lead. Adam Newbert, last year's champion. The man that had a lot of momentum before he stepped away for personal reasons right at the end of the spring, if you will. And that took all of that momentum he had out the window. He's just trying to, hey, win a race. Hey, I'm back. And right now at Talladega, he is the leader in the 4 as they work off 4.
Trying to be back like he never left, Wesley, as he leads the field off of 4. Brian Chu gets very loose behind him, though. Money Man will take us across that front stretch as the 2 machine. No, that's the 22 of Brian Broadfoot in the mix. You see Blake Lothian, Justin Lumpkin in the 18. Tim Hammond, you see working his way up through this field. You see some interesting names up here inside this top 10. Names we don't really call out here, Wesley, as we come off the corner.
working off of the front straightaway now. Here they come down that back stretch again. And it's Adam Newbert now. He's trying to go 3 wide. Here comes now in the middle. Brady LaBeouf starting to power up from the outside lane. He'll hook up with that machine on the top side. All of this going on as the middle lane comes to fruition. Led by, I believe, the machine. Oh, well, hold on there. Led by Lumpkin. Starts to make a climb into the pack. You've got racing going on all over the place right now with Adam Newbert still holding on to the lead. He can't block him. 3 lanes wide. Here comes the outside lane going to the lead. It's going to be Chris Kynes trying to make something work into turn 1.
Oh my goodness, Wesley, as we have a new race leader for a moment. As coming off of 2, Adam Newbert still leads the way. Brady LaBeouf, Justin Lumpkin, Chris Kynes. We have so many moving parts to this race, and I believe that's Tim Hammond at the top of this grid. He is a lapped truck in this race, but boy, it is airtight, Wesley, as we hit the apex at 3 and 4.
Yeah, Hammond's a lap machine. He's in this cavalry. He's got to get out of the way. He is holding up these leaders, and that's exactly what probably Adam Newbert is saying right now. Dude, move. There might be a punt move if not, and I don't blame him. You got to get out of the way. There's a race going on. You're not in it, but here's the deal, though. He is on the tail end of the lead lap, William Tiller. If he was to get a caution, he'd get a lucky dog to go back to the lead lap, but I'm looking at Hammond, and Hammond, though, is right back on the lead lap. So if he could just hold his line, if you're wondering why he's still there doing what he's doing, blocking, trying to hold off the leaders, he is on the lead lap. Caution comes out. He's right back in the game again. The 6 to 9 looked good before he had a caution in the early going.
And Wesley, he's the #1 seed in that constellation bracket. Interesting thing here at Nazareth for the drivers that didn't make that Sweet 20. We are doing a constellation bracket that pays $150 to that 21st position. Tim Hammond, #1 seed in that bracket. He's racing for a lot in this race, Wesley. You can see why he's holding it down.
Do any and everything you can to hold on to that spot, that money, if you will. Closing in on 1 lap to go to the halfway mark of this race. The DSR Electric 250 will go to the cross flags next time by. It's Newbert looking to lead halfway. Hammond the lap machine up on the outside. Here comes now Lothian to get back in the dance as they work off 2.
Money Man leading on the high side. Coming off a 2 down the backstretch here at Sweet Home Talladega. Brian Chu in that 51 was a top 5 truck. Was involved in our very first caution of the race. Has worked his way back here inside of the top 5. We go 2 by 2 by 2 into 3 and 4 as the Money Man still leading the way.
I'm going to help you out. It's Sweet Home Alabama, if you will, as they work their way off the corner, down out of turn number 4. It's Newbert now up on the outside lane. The lap truck now on the lead lap. That's Hammond right there in tow with Chu. Also, in Broadfoot's path, Lothian, Lumpkin, Parsons. Drivers, actually, William, that got caught up in an accident before the end of stage 2. Right back in the saddle again as we're halfway home.
Yeah, this is the Island of Misfit Toys up here on the top side of the top 10. You got Tim Hammond still holding it down for that lead lap. You got the Money Man, who has been out of this series for a long time. Blake Lothian's a part-time driver. He's done so great this season. When he comes in, Wesley, he usually wins these races. Brandon Broadfoot finds himself up here. Justin Lumpkin, Hunter Parsons, watch out for that 15, Wesley. He's now back in that 6th spot. We talked about that 15 sustaining damage. He is now back inside that top 15. He needs it if he wants to make that championship 6.
All of this going on now with Hunter Parsons now inside, outside, holding on to that spot as they storm back through the tribal, back to start-finish line. And we close in on the second half of this race. The leader, Adam Newbert, Brian Chu, Blake Lothian, Brandon Broadfoot, Hunter Parsons, Justin Lumpkin, Jose Luis Rivera, Zach Hartwick, Brady LaBeouf, and Torrey Thompson, your top 10. Closing in on 48 to go as the leaders work the backstretch, William Tiller.
And Wesley, as we watch this battle up here at the top of the grid, I'm going to break some news to the folks at home. Also up here in the booth, we'll wait for the field to come roaring by the corner here. Adam Newton is still down pit road. He has not left pit road. He has been down there. He's now 13 laps down. He came in tied for that last championship spot. With this early retire, that should knock the 82 out of that championship hunt.
That's hard break for Adam Newton if he's not able to exit off pit road as the field Coming back across the start-finish line, Adam Newton was the number 5 and the number 6 seed, tied at 21 even between Newton, Stiers, Morales on the outside looking in. Remember the top 10 in this dance. I mentioned names like Justin White or Jason Morales. If they win the race, even though they're outside the top 6, William Tiller, they transfer into the championship 6 at Auto Club next week, and everyone else is decided by points. You know, Joey Doucette, he's done it 2 weeks in a row. He knows he's going to the dance. That's why he had nothing to prove whenever he got caught up in that accident earlier in stage number 2. Hit the reset button, call it a night, go to the back. He is right now watching everyone else desperately, chaotically, in fine fashion work to try to get as many positions and points needed to lock in those final 6 spots to determine who will be the champion, or actually 5, if you will.
Yeah, we have about 3 or 4 spots still up for grabs at this point in the race. You talked about how Bray LaBeouf mathematically he's in. Joey Doucette in that 16 machine, we can lock him in. So realistically, Wesley, that leaves us 4 open spots for that Auto Club Championship race next Monday night. But we got checkered flags to hand out here tonight as Adam Newbert. We talked about the storyline that follows him, Wesley. Last year's champion had to step away for personal reasons. Now, what a way to say I'm back to win at Talladega, the second to last race of the season. He'll take us across the start-finish line as the race leader as the laps are ticking down.
Trying to get back to the winning groove, if you will, as he is currently the man on the top spot of that DSR Electric, number 4 from Toccoa, Georgia. Had the privilege to meet him, one of those people of the NASRA world that I've actually got to meet in person, and he actually got to work in the broadcast booth with me back during the summer in July at the Toccoa Raceway in Georgia when I was working TV with Mav at IMSA at the race at Road Atlanta, and then of course at Toccoa Raceway on the weekend. And Adam Newbert, super nice guy, and right now the defending champion is sitting now in the number 1 spot. You've got still that machine of Hammond, and again, I don't want to call him a pest, if you will, William Tiller, because he's trying to do everything he can to stay in that top spot, and those guys in the lead, they know that. They know that he's got a really strong truck. He's hanging with them. It isn't like he's trying to cause chaos and making people wreck. He's literally up to speed. He's in the front of the draft. That shows you how really of a good truck the 69 of Tim Hammond really was before he went a lap down.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why he's trying to hold on so tightly to this spot, because who knows what could happen, Wesley. You know, a caution could put you back on that lead lap. Another caution puts you inside the top 10. Another caution maybe puts you inside the top 5. Who knows what could happen in this race as the 69. You mentioned it, though. It could be an advantage for the guys on the low side. You link up with the 69. You know he's not a slow truck. He had a pretty good truck before all those mishaps. You link up with him, it could be almost an advantage, because if you could get up there, you're not in second, you're in first behind that 69.
Hammond, bottom of the racetrack, as we mentioned again. All this happening as they come to the line. The laps are winding down here as we're closing in on 40 laps to go. Lap 57. Look at this scatter of trucks working down the straightaway, and still Hammond, the lap machine, on the tail end of the lead lap, might I add, still holding on to this battle as they work into 3.
As you look at the tail end of this pack, Lance Miller is up here, Chris Kynes, Jose Luis Rivera, Justin Lumpkin. All of these guys have been moving and grooving in this race. Also looking at one of those championship contenders, Nathan Maurer, in that 971. He has just now cracked inside the top 10, exactly where Nathan wants to be.
Hammond inside. There's Newbert. Here comes some trucks pitting. I'm going to say that's Daniels in the 25 machine that might be coming down pit road. Getting checked out, Tyler Daniels, his Chevrolet. Meanwhile, we pick up the pack. Working off turn 2. Oh boy, Brian Chu gave a little shot there to his teammate, Newbert.
Getting very feisty up here at the top side of the grid as the money man trying to take the lead. He has to get low enough to get in front of the 69. Does he want to bail on Brian Chu in that 51 on the top side? Does he want to kill all that momentum? Does he want to lead this race by himself? Not just yet, as that 51 will continue to push him on that top side lane. He will, though, be the race leader across the start-finish line as the money man leads here at Dega.
Adam Newton, the man that literally was going to be somebody that needed to make a big move. He's out of it. A new Adam Newbert, the defending champion, not in the run for a championship this year in season 2, but I'm understanding he will be making a full quest, full run, full bore for season 3. And like you said, back in the winning move, the 4 Toyota leads the pack as they work into turn number 3, closing in 40 remaining here at Talladega in stage 3.
And what a strategic move that was, Wesley, to go from the high side. You get in front of the 69 machine. Now, we talked about him. He's not slow in this race. You get in front of the 69. Now, that throws a blocker between you and Brian Chu. Now, what that also did, Wesley, that totally erased that top side lane, as right now we only have one truck. Now that top side lane is totally gone as the money man takes us into the corner.
The money man. Looking at dollar signs if he can pull it off right now in that top spot. And now Hammond will pull behind the machine of Newbert. So Newbert has cleared finally by Hammond. Hammond and also Lothian in this group along with Brian Chu and William for the first time in a while. We're single file in the lead. Top 10 as they work into 3.
Single file lane. I believe, though, Wesley, this is the calm before the storm. You got to remember we'll have at least one more pit stop before all is said and done. It looks like drivers are heading down right now, as there is some separation, though, between drivers that are heading down and drivers that are staying out.
Oh boy, everybody on the blinders. Green flag pit stops underway here with about 60 on lap 60. And you just literally, as you mentioned, broke up the pack. As now Chu, Broadfoot, Miller, Newbert, Thompson all on pit road. It's Nate Maurer, the new leader, as they work the back straightaway with White Stiers and company off turn number 2.
Yeah, he is Robbie Richards, Jose Luis Rivera, and Dane Hagen. That would be only 6 trucks that stay out there. Wesley, a huge gamble out of these guys, especially out of the 971 and Nathan Maurer. Needs as many points as he can get here. Only 7 points above that cut line coming into tonight's race. He's got Justin White pushing him along, who's been a consistent top 5 truck all night long. We'll see here, Wesley. They will stay out another lap.
Some more trucks entering pit road. This is Jason Morellas and Kerry Tribune, the 5 and 7, entering the pits. Nate Maurer up to the top spot now, up 22 positions. But you know, William, they're going to have to pit also.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they're going to have to head down pit road here, I'd say, the next couple of laps or so. But what a time it is to be tuned into the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Our Championship 6 will be decided here in less than 40 laps. We have our green flag pit stops just proceeding right now. We have a group of 6
Here they come.
out as Nathan Maurer and company will head down here. Looked like there was some trickery, though, there, Wesley.
Yeah, here comes now almost everybody in the top 6 onto pit lane that did not pit when the other people pitted. That's Nate Maurer. Now Justin White will move to the lead, and when they all cycle back around, Taylor Peacock in truck number 81. His Ford will go to the top spot. And if I remember correctly, William Tiller, he is a former NASRA winner for the trucks on Friday night here at Talladega in the 81.
Yeah, Taylor Peacock in the 81, he let his colors fly just a few weeks ago in the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series here tonight, trying to take a checkered flag home in Talladega, as though he'll have some competition at that line for just a moment as things will shake back out as Nathan Maurer will be registered as our race leader.
Can you believe it? Nate Maurer came down on pit road. In that second pack, he exited the pits in the lead. Nate Maurer is on the lead, but here come the thundering herd, ready to swallow him up. He better pick a line as they work into turn 3.
Yeah, they're coming like a train around the bend. Shout out to Johnny Cash, because into 3 and 4 they go. Nathan Mauer's not even on that gas pedal yet, though, Wesley. But just wait for those Goodyear Eagle wings to start flapping on the 971. You're going to start to see the Eagles fly here at Talladega as we're 3 wide on the front stretch.
The only positive of this is Robert Richards, Nate Mauer, those drivers that pitted are at least right there within that pack of the leaders now. Brian Chu is now the top dog. The 51 leads the cavalry in the middle lane. Newbert will follow. Lothian in tow. The middle lane comes to fruition and works hard as they work off turn 4.
It is that style of race. Tim Hammond still up there trying to stay on the lead lap. Brian Chu, he's in the middle as our race leader. He's feeling the heat, though, from the money man of Adam Newbert here in the apex of the corner. Tim Hammond, he slides up the racetrack. He'll take, looks like Brady LaBeouf there, up there with him. That'll lock jam the 24, trying to work together as we're off the corner, Wesley. It looks as though we can't keep it together up here at the top.
Yeah, they're definitely scattered and can't seem to get organized, if you will. It's right now we're watching them come to the line. 35 laps to go, and they come to the stripe. Next time around, Brian Chu, he is hitting his marks. Right now, the leader, followed by Brady LaBeouf. He's stuck behind him in the lap truck. All this going on again as the leaders work the back straightaway.
Down the backstretch here on lap 65 of the DSR Electric 250. It is myself, William Tiller, joined alongside Wesley Outland, and is Adam Flieger up here in the booth. Just a few more laps to go, Wesley. We'll have our championship 6 decided as Tim Hammond on the low side of lap truck. He leads the field, but Brian Chu is officially our race leader in that 51 after an early caution flag. He's now in that danger zone lane as we're 3 wide for the lead into 1.
Brady LaBeouf in the lead on the outside lane. He'll carry now that momentum with Peacock on the top side. They'll finally clear away, and now scanner to the number 1 spot. Rivera now back in the song and dance again to 3rd. Chu, Newbert, top 5, single file for a moment with the lap machine of Hammond on the bottom out of 2.
Oh, he's still working like a great teammate up there. The 69 is Brady LaBeouf. He's leading the way. The boss man here at Nazareth. No better feeling to be locked inside of that championship 6. He raced for it last season. He wants to get back there again as the 24 is being pushed along by the 81 of Taylor Peacock in the middle. As Brian Chu on the low side, he's being pushed along by Tim Hammond in that 69. Here comes Jose Luis Rivera on the high side. Wesley, as we come screaming across the front stretch.
It is Brian Chu. He is the leader. Zach Hartwick, Brady LaBeouf, Taylor Peacock, Hunter Parsons, top 5. Followed by Newbert, Lothian, Rivera, Richards, Mauer, top 10. Anybody could win this race, and in some type of fashion, they've all been up at the front as they work off turn number 4. Turn 2.
Coming off a 2 down the back stretch. It is the calm before the storm. Wait for those inside moves. Wait for those fender budges. You're going to see them. You're going to see those pushes right up the behind. Some of these guys need these points. Some of these guys need a victory to make sure they advance to the next round. As we're on the apex of 3 and 4, we're going to ride on board here and see what the drivers see here at Talladega as we are minding our P's and Q's on the front stretch.
Through the trioval, down to the line, Brian Chu. He is your leader. He is the man out in front, Brady LaBeouf, and this is on board with somebody. Looks like they're in the back of the top 10. This is Robert Richards, the 48 out of Gaffney, South Carolina, as he right now is sitting. Oh, Robert Richards is way in the top 10. He just got bypassed by Taylor Peacock. And all of this happening now as they work their way off the corner out of turn number 4 down to the line, getting into position. And I'm thinking here, William, they are going to have to maybe pit again. I don't think they can go to the finish of this race. Between 60 and 62 is when everyone pitted. I don't see them going to lap 100 here. They're going to have to pit probably around lap 85 or lap 90.
And I think you might see some gambles at maybe the 51 machine of Brian Chu Adam Newberg could maybe push that limit. Blake Lothian in that 43 truck, they headed down pit road last time, lap 60. Then you have some other guys lap 62. So those are going to be guys that probably are going to be gambling. For those guys that want to stay on that standard route of things, Wesley, as you just alluded to, probably going to see some more pit stops. I don't know. It's going to be such a crunch time mode. It's going to be whether you head down or not. You're going to have about a couple seconds to decide. We'll have to wait and see as this Championship 6 is coming to fruition as we come off the corner.
6 drivers next Monday night. We'll battle it out. Then we take off for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then we reset with the clash and the duels and the races, as we all mentioned, that we all love in Daytona for season number 3. And it'll fire back up again for the NASRA 360 Racing Network again, not only for the Cup Series of NASRA on Friday night, the premier series for them, and then, of course, our Monday night series. There's the podcast, of course, going back on Thursday nights going on. There's also the new NASRA special events. I know Talladega will be the next event when they schedule it to happen. It'll be at Talladega. And, of course, coming off the heels of that wild race at Daytona about a month or so ago. Down the back straightaway, Brian Chu, the leader. Yes, that's still Hammond. Hashtag free Hammond right there battling with the lead pack, staying on the lead lap, closing in on now 30 to go at Talladega next time around.
Oh my goodness, Wesley, as you were just talking about that, I was looking at some point standings mathematics here. We have some crazy things that could play out here. We look at the likes of Adam Newton, of course, an early retire in this race. We're not seeing him off of pit road, still down there, 32 laps down. Then you look at the likes of Joey Styres. Joey Styres still in the hunt in this race in the 12th position. He's the key in all of this right here, Wesley. Jason Morales, he's a lap down in 12th. He was tied with Joey Styres for that last spot. Kerry Tribune in that 7 was only 1 point away from that last spot. He is currently above Jason Morales in the 11th position, also a lap down here in this race.
Man. Pucker time, if you will, with Brian Chu now, the man that's leading the way. Put another lap on the board here. And a fairly exciting race, if you will, William. But I mean, we've had our thrills and spills. It's not over yet. It's I you know, as you said, you keep saying the calm before the storm, if you will.
Absolutely, I believe so. Here we got about 29 laps to go in this race. These guys are going to get hungry, Wesley. You're not going to race all these laps here at Talladega. You're not going to put in all the work, all the practice, everything that goes into just surviving a style of race like this. You're not going to give up. Now you're starting to see just a little bit some of these guys dipping their toes in the water, so to say, starting to pull off that draft, feel what it's like, you know, in the other yards, and then they're coming back to their safe zones. You're seeing it just a little bit right there at Jose Luis Rivera. You're seeing it at Brady LaBeouf with Brian Chu in that 51. Some of these guys feeling out their moves. Wait for here in the next couple laps.
Brian Chu up on the outside. Brady LaBeouf right there playing possum, along with Hartwick and Newbert and Broadfoot. Lance Miller, really good drive for him. Rivera back in this mix as well. As we close in on what would be 28 laps to go, Brian Chu looking to try to win here on the series. If Brian Chu gets it done, it would be his first ever win with NASRA, with one top 5, one top 10 to his credit for Swim Motorsports. Sick with it. Definitely cheering on the DSR Electric number 51 right now, William, as he is currently 16th in the points, leading the way as they go back off into turn 1.
You see it right there, still holding it down on the top side. I love these shots here in the NASRA 360 Racing Network as Jose Luis Rivera, he wants the checkered flag. Although Brian Chu now being pushed in that middle lane by Brady LaBeouf, the boss man. He finds behind him the money man in that 4 of Adam Newbert. As Brian Chu, he's staying in this fight. Early mistake out of the 51. He's worked back in it, though. You see the racing stripes on the side of that 51. 51, as he's currently our race leader. Here comes the 71 of Zach Hartwick as they're side by side down the front stretch.
Working back through the tribal again. Here they come to the line. Brian Chu in that top spot. Zach Hartwick, Brady LaBeouf, Hunter Parsons, Adam Newbert, top 5. Back into one. Look at him start slicing, dicing, making moves around the corner, top to bottom. And now, again, the lap machine of Hammond. By the way, Hammond's truck, the number 69, he is in right now 19th. He is the truck of 19 on the lead lap. And William Tiller, this has been, if you will, going on for about the last 30 laps with Hammond up in front of the leaders, and he is holding his own. He's not holding up the pack whatsoever. It shows how good and fast his truck is, as right now he's the man that leads them coming off the corner.
And I think a sleepy pick coming off of this front stretch here is the 21 machine on Lance Miller, who is 10 points outside of that cut line. Oh, when, Wesley, you throw all those calculators out the window, he'll be in that championship 6. The 21 machine, he's just lingering there in 8th. Perfect position. If anything pops off up here at the top, he'll be in that position to just slide right through it. Maybe flushed out in the top 3.
Lap machines getting bypassed, clear. They're staying up on the outside, letting the faster trucks take them on the bottom. There's the leaders. Brian Chu, LaBeouf up on the top. He's got Adam Newbert right there behind him, followed by Rivera, then Lothian. All this happening as they come to the line. Now finally, Brian Chu clears by Hammond, if you will, William Tiller. And as we come to the line, under 25 laps to go. And now LaBeouf looking to try to go to the lead on the outside lane into turn number 1.
Boss man trying to get the job done here tonight as he's on the top side with the money man of Adam Newbert with him. You see the 51 machine of Brian Chu. He's being pushed along by the 69 machine of Tim Hammond. Been good as a 24 is going to take us into 3 and 4, trying to use a little bit of that Bayou energy here tonight into 3 and 4.
Off of turn number 2 now. Adam Newbert now working off 4. Coming to the lead, the number 4 back to the top spot again. This is on board with Hunter Parsons. Originally from Green Bay, Wisconsin, now from Statesville. Looking inside. Dane Hagen up on the top, the 39. William, what a drive for the 39 tonight here, by the way, in the top 10.
Absolutely. There's a lot of great drives here tonight. Some of career best for these guys, some of these season best drives here coming in the second to last race of the season, especially out of the 51 machine of Brian Chu. He could be the guy in victory lane. He has lingered up here like he has meant to be there, currently in that 4th spot. He's in a good spot as we're going to ride on board with the 69 machine of Tim Hammond, who is absolutely not, I wouldn't say been a pest up here, Wesley, has been a good blocker, a good teammate. If you can work the 69 machine in your direction, that's the way to go. As right now, he's all by himself, though, on the top side as we're going to cross this line, make it 22 laps to go into 1.
Tim Hammond, again, now going a lap down on the tail end of the lead lap. The caution was to come out. Hammond would get that lap back. Right now, by the way, I was mentioning Dane Hagen. Dane Hagen is a lap down in the 39 machine. All of this going on as the leaders get ready to come back to the line in the turn number 3. And now Brady LaBeouf gets some company from Hammond's truck. And right now, again, trying to cause the inside lane to get started is Jose Luis Rivera. He is trying to get up in there and make some noise in the 20 machine. Down to the bottom, Adam Newbert in tow. Chu will follow. Working to the line.
Brady LaBeouf on the low side, being pushed along ever so slightly there on the low side of the racetrack. He's being pushed along by Jose Luis Rivera in that 20, who is staying in the fight as well, lingered inside of that top 10. You see the 69 machine of Tim Hammond now starting to lose a little bit of that grip. Wesley can't stay up to speed with these guys up at the top as we are single file on the low side into 3 and 4.
18 trucks on the lead lap now, counting Torrey Thompson, Jeffrey Johnson Jr., Kerry Tribune, Jason Morales, Tyler Daniels, and Dan Hagan, all at least one lap down. Coming back to the line. Time is running out, and here comes your pit stops, William Tiller. I told you they couldn't go the distance on lap number 80. 20 to go. Here comes a lot of the leaders in. Money stop time here at Talladega.
Brady LaBeouf still out. Jose Luis Rivera still out. Zark Hartwick still out. Hunter Parsons still out. Lance Miller, Brandon Broadfoot, and Taylor Peacock are the only guys that will stay out on the racetrack, as well as Chris Kynes and Justin Lumpkin. That'll make 9 trucks that'll stay out here in this run as we await to see the Yahtzee reshuffle of this grid. Who will push it to the limit? Who will make it to the top? We have one championship driver who's locked into the next round, leading the way. Who will be the next 5 that will join him? Here we have 20 laps to go before the end of the DSR Electric 250.
Here comes the cavalry dropping to the bottom of the apron, and here comes the next group on the flat. Coming to pit road, Money Stop, LaBeouf, Rivera, Parsons, Peacock, Hartwick, Miller, Broadfoot, top 7, they're all in.
Top 7 are in. This is go time for the rest of the field. Tyler Dittmer in that 34. We're getting a good shot of our regular season champion here. Wesley, unfortunately, his service to our country got in the way of him winning a championship. But I once again want to say thank you to your service and congratulations on that regular season championship for Tyler Dittmer in that 34. Go catch him on the NASRA Hot Lap podcast that just relaunched, Wesley. This is going to be an absolute firework finish.
The scoring pylon is actually in bonkers mode right now, trying to assess who is where and here, there, and where. As right now, it looks like it's saying Chris Kynes is the new leader. Look at this big gaggle of traffic now going on between White and Stiers up on the outside. Then you've got Maurer and Richards in that pack. Chris Kynes is now being showed as the leader, I believe, unofficially. Justin Lumpkin is in second. Then it's Justin White now, as it looks like they're all starting to come in the pack in a 1.
If that's true there, Justin White would be the leader if Chris Kynes and Justin Lumpkin head down pit road, although there is a battle between the 23 and the 2 on the racetrack.
That's right. That's right.
Justin White needs a win to make it in, Wesley, and whoa, what a victory that would be for the 2.
And remember, by the way, that that Chris Kynes, Justin Lumpkin, those drivers, last time they pitted was on lap 60, 20 laps ago. They're going to have to pit. They might go to lap 85, maybe lap 90, but they're going to have to pit, as right now you see them up in the front. Chris Kynes in that silver Mountain Dew 29 throwback of Hendrick Dale Earnhardt Jr., and then there's the black and yellow number 18 of Justin Lumpkin. And right now, back off into the corner. 17 laps to go in the DSR Electric 250. We've had no cautions in stage number 3, William Tiller. And honestly, Adam Fligger, I don't know if you've got all your fancy gadgets where you can show a track map on our broadcast, but if you can, you will literally be seeing that there are literally just the trucks are scattered. There you go. Thank you, Adam. William, the trucks are scattered all around the 2.66 mile. There's nobody within a pack of one another anymore.
No, absolutely not. And once Chris Kynes and Justin Lumpkin do decide to head down pit road, there is a 17
Here they come.
gap, and they'll head down. They're heading down now. That will make Justin White our leader. About 17 seconds. He's got Joey Stiers right on the back bumper. Nathan Maurer, the 971. Oh my goodness, Wesley, what a finish we're going to have on our hands. Does Joey Stiers push the 2 to victory? Does he make a move? We'll have to wait and see. The 2 needs to win to make it in. He's leading the way into 1.
Everybody coming down on pit road, including Kynes, Lumpkin, Morales, Tribune, Johnson, Dittmer, Hunter, Doucette. Remember Joey Doucette? Got involved in the accident midway in stage 2 or the end of stage 2. Several laps down. Don't worry, buddy. You're going to Auto Club. You're running for the championship of the Final Six next Monday night. And that's why he literally bowed out, didn't make any desperation, if you will, William Tiller, to get back in the dogfight. And now, as we approach the end of this thing here, Justin White, Joey Styres, Nate Maurer. Okay, Joey Styres, Nate Maurer, these are drivers that are going to want to look for a win to advance to the championship 6, if not by points. But you got a guy like Justin White, William,
Who needs it?
Who needs it. He is the number 10 seed. Number 10 for brute force. If he wins, he will advance all the way to P2.
And my question to you here in this race, as we're counting down the laps, I wonder if there's any communication between the two machine of Justin White and the 971 of Nathan Maurer and Joey Styres in the 23. Mathematically, right now, Nathan Maurer would be locked in. Joey Styres would be locked in as well. Justin White, as we just alluded to, needs that victory. I wonder if there's any communications about possibly helping this two into victory lane.
Well, Justin White is the number 10 in the number 10 seed in the points. And as you mentioned and alluded to, you got Joey Styres and Nate Maurer, number 4 for Maurer, number 6 for Styres. I'm not per se saying that that's good for Joey Styres to be at number 6 because he would be the last guy to make it in.
Adam Newton's out of this race, remember. He had to
That's right.
Early, so
that's
that
right.
up a spot.
That's right, and that's the only thing that I was going to take in consideration because I was literally going to say if you saw Justin White bump from 10th to 2nd or 3rd, he would bump out. Joey Styres. But with Adam Newton eliminated, like you said, that gives a little hope for grace. Under 15 laps to go, and Justin White is leading the cavalry. He pitted on lap number 80. Does he got enough to go? Under 15 to go to the finish here at Talladega.
We're going to have a guy, essentially the 16th seed in a March Madness bracket, possibly upset the entire field here tonight. Take home a checkered flag on the DSR Electric 250. That 2 machine of Justin White, that grinds machine, has been grinding it out all season. Wesley, a top 10 truck here as far as point standings go, trying to make it a top 6 as he's leading us down the backstretch into 3 and 4.
Somehow, some way, trying to hold on to that spot, as you mentioned. William Tiller back off into the corner again. All this happening down in to turn number 3, 4, down to the line. Here comes the field. It is still White. It is Styres. It is Maurer. Don't count out any of these guys because they literally could all win this race right now. They stay single file, no one breaking out of line, and they work their way back into turn 1.
And to check in what could be possibly our last seed in that championship 6, currently Jason Morales is above Kerry Tribute in this race. He is registered right now in the 20th position. Kerry Tribute currently in 22nd.
Holding on to all this now down to the inside of the racetrack. It's still White holding off the cavalry that looks like they're going to start to get 2 by 2 by 2. Make a run, make a move. And now here comes Brian Chu. He'll power to the lead on the outside lane. Battles White. He's got help with Newbern and company as they work through the tribal out of turn 4.
As all of a sudden what looked like a victory parade for the two has now became a nightmare before Christmas as he's on the low side trying to hold on to hope that maybe, just maybe, I can race for a championship next week at Auto Club. But Brian Chu is saying, hold up, wait a minute, young gun. I'm trying to get the checkered flag here tonight. Down the backstretch, the 51 leads again into 3 and 4.
They will be coming to the line this time by. It'll be 10 laps to go. Brian Chu now back out in front of the 51. Newbert will follow in tow in the middle line. Outside lane with Hammond and company starting to get work with the help of Brady LaBeouf. Meanwhile, White powers back to the bottom through the tribal. 10 laps to go at Talladega. It's time to hunker down to the finish.
We have numero DH, 10 laps to go in this race. Across that start-finish line, we'll ride on board with the 81 machine of Taylor Peacock. He is watching here a courtside seat of an all-time battle here at the top side of the grid. Nathan Maurer, Joey Stires, you see him. Jose Luis Rivera right there as well. Justin White, Brian Chu at the top side of our grid, and the money man in the 4 as we go down the backstretch into 3 and 4.
Down the back straightaway, look at Taylor Peacock. He gave a shot to Rivera. Rivera got loose for just a moment. Kicking the pants works now for Newbert. Newbert now gets back in line. We got one spun. It's Joey Stires, bottom of the racetrack. He is by himself, the Mackinac, Illinois driver. One of the drivers trying to advance to the championship, 6 in trouble, but no yellow flag. 9 to go at the line as Brian Chu leads him through the tribal.
Oh no, not what that's going to do, Wesley. That's going to abandon the 2 machine of Justin White. He was relying on the help of the 971. Yep. He was relying on the help of the 23 machine of Joey Stires. Now all by himself went from 1st down to 6th in this race. The championship dream is starting to become a nightmare for the 2. Still holding on though, still a long way to go. 9 laps to go.
He might have to find that renewed vigor and bust out on his own. Right now, he is trying to find a move on the bottom of the racetrack, in tow behind Blake Lothian. Now, also, all of this happens to the inside, and you now put Brady LaBeouf in the battle. Brady LaBeouf down to the inside, to the outside with Peacock and company now as they work off 4. They are scattered all over the racetrack. One going inside, one going outside. They don't like that when they work off the corner. Then they'll change their mind as they work to 8 to go at the line.
Oh, this is very unstable. It's almost like a Jenga puzzle right here. You're starting to pull pieces out. You can see it getting a little bit more wobbly, a little bit more unstable. That's how I feel when these trucks come off of the corner. Very unstable, very wobbly in that draft. Not so much off of 2 here. Down the backstretch now. Very clean. You're going to see a little bit of nose-to-tail action here to ride those runs into 3 and 4. But watch, Wesley, as we exit 4, how sketchy this field looks.
Just trying to hold it together right now. As now up top is Taylor Peacock. Remember, we mentioned Taylor Peacock. He's won here before on the NASMA Friday series. A lot of these guys run in that Friday program. There's a little stipulations and limitations of what you can do to run the Monday series, but his talents are showing. He's now to the lead on the outside lane. 7 laps to go. He's got a wingman and helping him out. Brady LaBeouf now going to give him a shot along with Broadfoot on the top as they work into 2.
Taylor Peacock is definitely doing his thing on the high side. Brian Chu in the middle as we have somebody pulling out a line down there. Wesley, as things are getting a little hairy here down the backstretch, as it looks like that was the 15 machine of Hunter Parsons. He'll pull back just a little bit. Hunter Parsons, though, locked into that championship 6, I would assume, as we come off a 3 and 4. Taylor Peacock leading the way on the low side.
See what I told you about Peacock being up on the outside lane just a moment ago. Now look at Brian Chu, gonna battle back. They're gonna go 3 wide, 3 rows deep as they storm through the tribal. Jose Luis Rivera comes out of the front pocket on the bottom of the apron. Now White's back in the battle. He's hooked up behind Lothian, and it's 7 to go. Now back into turn number 1.
Jose is leading us off of the corner. He's taking the 43 truck of Blake Lothian. As he'll look to the outside, he'll take Justin White with him. Here comes that man again. Wesley, you can't keep him down. He's saying, I get knocked down, I get up again. The 2 machines trying to get the victory lane. He'll follow the 43 of Blake Lothian into 3.
Justin White needs to at least win the race or at least finish second ahead of everyone else. The win would solidify the opportunity to go to the championship 6. Blake Lothian, the Wellesley Mass driver, in for the big shows, in for the wins, leading them through the tribal. 5 laps to go here at Talladega. The race is on into turn number 1.
5 laps to decide championship hopes. 5 laps to decide a race winner here in the DSR Electric 250. 5 laps to see who is the man here at the high banks of Talladega. Down the backstretch, the 51 machine of Brian Chu gets a little loose on the low side of the racetrack. You have Blake Lothian being pushed along by Justin White. Taylor Peacock on the high side as well. This race is fantastic as we come through 3 and 4.
Working through turn number 3 and 4. Everybody stays littered to the bottom of the racetrack. It's right now 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, at least the first 5 rows. Your flagman watches intently, looking as they come storming through the tribal. Here they come down to the line. Pick your poison. 4 to go at Talladega. It's Lothian on the inside. He throws the block on Brian Chu up top. Chu will pull away a couple of Toyotas for the lead at Talladega into 1.
True. Middle of the racetrack, low side has Blake Lothian in the 43. He is joined by Justin White. We come off of 2 things, are very calm down the backstretch here. Who's going to make the first move as Adam Newbert looks to the outside? No, he'll fall right back behind the 81, and Jose Luis Rivera will do the same. Brady LaBeouf trying to join the party up here as, again, we're 2 by 2 by 2 for the positions. Around 3 and 4 here, Wesley. No separation on this lap as we exit 4.
It is Blake Lothian leading the cavalry. Brian Chu now flip-flopping to the lead again now. Here comes White inside. Justin White with Taylor Peacock. All of this going on as they come to the line. Trying to get going 3 wide in the middle. Up the middle is going to be 4 wide for a moment. Adam Newbert, Jose Luis Rivera. They go 4 wide up the bank and into turn number 2 for third. All this going on with Lothian leading them off the corner with 3 to go.
We're 4 wide at Talladega, Wesley. How are we doing this as we come off of 2, 4 wide down the backstretch?
Brady LaBeouf, Rivera, Newbert, Bonsai, door slam one another. They still hold in momentum into turn number 3, and they work up the bank in the corner. All this goes on with Lothian now down to the inside. It is getting antsy and hairy. They work to the corner into turn number 3 and 4. William Tiller, they're going to come to the line out of the tribal. It'll be 2 laps to go in the DSR Electric 250. And furthermore, can Justin White win to make the championship 6? Or will another unknown get it done? It's Chu and Lothian at the line again.
2 laps to go. Lothian, Chu, side by side into 1. As the field comes screaming around the camera here in the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, we look at Lothian on the low side. Brian Chu in the middle. Can Justin White make a move? Can Taylor Peacock get it done? Will Brady LaBeouf have it rolling on the high side as being pushed along by Tim Hammond in that 69? He'll get up to the 51 as it looks as though that low side will lose momentum. Wesley, as we head into 3 and 4, Brian Chu leading the way in the middle.
Now they're about to go 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. 3's company, 2 now. 4's a crowd that you just saw what happened a moment ago when they were bonsaiing off one another. Somehow they hold it together. Peacock from the middle lane, from the top all the way to the bottom. Now back to the top again from the bottom. Here they come to the line with Lothian at the line. White flags in the air. The Darren Snell gun repair. Engines repair. White flag waves. 1 more lap to go. Blake Lothian, can he hold on the other side? They're 3 by 3 by 3 behind him, and here comes Peacock up the hill with LaBeouf at a 2.
Can Blake Lothian get it done on the low side? Brian Chu with a huge run in the middle. Taylor Peacock on the outside. He's got some momentum building up from the push from the 24 machine of Brady LaBeouf. 43 on the low side, 51 in the middle. Things are topsy-turvy right now. 3 wide into 3 and 4. This is the last set of corners, Wesley, before we come screaming towards you. Blake Lothian still leading on the low side.
Lothian stays single file. Behind them, they are 3 by 3 by 3. There's contact. Peacock got turned. Rivera crashes. He gets into Hammond. Slammed into the grass. It's going to be the machine of Lumpkin. And all this goes on with Broadfoot on the grass. Blake Lothian, amongst all the chaos and mayhem, is going to hold off Justin White and Lance Miller to win the DSR Electric 250. A crazy finish. Peacock getting into Rivera. They crash coming into the tri-oval, and when it's all said and done, the Wellesley, Massachusetts driver of course, one of the men from the Cars Tour and Pro Late Model contender, one of the best of iRacing in my opinion, Blake Lothian, who didn't even make a run to the championship, 39th overall. William Tiller is going to pick up his 3rd win this year in the number 43.
I'm speechless at that end of the race there, Wesley. Congratulations once again to the 43 truck of Blake Lothian. As you mentioned, his 3rd win of the season. He's looking so fresh, so clean in that paint scheme. I got to shout out Blake for rocking a different livery in this race. I'm just interested to see what's going to happen now to the 2 machine of Justin White and the 21 machine of Lance Miller. Do they make it in on points and I'm surprised we didn't see a last-ditch effort out of the two at the line.
What's going on? Again, post-race coming up. Let's take a look at the results because I've got to get off the air and transfer into at 11 o'clock with another iRacing broadcast. Let's look at the results. Blake Lothian will pick up the win. He will celebrate here tonight. Look at the top of the ticker. You see it. Lothian picking up the win as Blake Lothian's burning it down here on the travel at Talladega. His third win of the year. Justin White second. Lance Miller will finish third. Brian Chu fourth. Hunter Parsons fifth. Nate Mowers sixth. Brandon Broadfoot seventh. Robert Richards is eighth. Brady LaBeouf ninth. Taylor Peacock will finish in 10th. Of the 30 trucks that took the green flag, if you will, William Tiller. It's also Jose Luis Rivera finishing 10th and 11th. They're the trucks that spun coming through the tribal. Adam Newbert caught up in the craziness at the end. 12th. Zach Hartwick 13th. Raul Meza, Justin Lumpkin halfway through the field. Your top 15 at Talladega.
Yeah, then you look at Chris Kynes and Joey Stiers will be the last trucks on the lead lap. And you get to the guy, man, the guy we called out his name a lot in this race, Tim Hammond in that 69 machine will finish 18th. Look for him in that championship race next week to lock in that 21st position that will pay out $150 in that consolation bracket. We look at Jason Morales in that 5. He finishes 19th in this race. Jeffrey Johnson Jr. finishes 20th. We look at Tyler Daniels finishing 21st. Kerry Chabu 22nd. Steve Barnett 23rd. Tyler Dittmer, our regular season champion, 24th in this race. Torrey Thompson 25th. Dane Hagen 26th. Ron Hunter 27th. The Joker Joey Doucette 28th. Adam Newton 29th. Chris Blanchard 30th. And rounding out our field is Ed Osborne in that 28 machine.
3 cautions in this race. That was all that was. 3 yellow flags when it was all said and done. Remember, stage number 3 went all the way 61 laps, caution-free, until the accident that happened off turn 4. But again, they were racing to the checkered flag at that point. We await to grab by the top 3. We're waiting for Blake Lothian to join us in the waiting room for our post-race interviews. We also are looking to see intently when the points update where Justin White and, of course, the driver Lance Miller, those 2 drivers, importantly, will be when it's all said and done. And believe it or not, William Tiller, by the hair of their chinny chin, Lance Miller and Justin White are going to transfer by the virtue of their finishing positions. As we look at the finish again, William Tiller, into the Championship 6, they will race at Auto Club with the other drivers for the title next Monday night.
Yeah, that could be why we didn't see the 2 machine make a move at the line, basically lay all of his chips out on the table. He could have known that he had it locked in. If he could just finish second, it must have been a magic number, as I like to say in basketball and baseball, all those things. What an absolute incredible run out of the 21 and the 2 of Justin White. I know we talk about the win out of the 43 truck of Blake Lothian, but for those guys to essentially come from the bottom of the points table, Wesley, with everything that they had to overcome, now they'll be racing for a championship next week.
That's exactly right. And I'll tell you what, we really don't have, if you will, Blake Lothian. I don't think he's joined us in post. So let's just get both Justin White and Lance Miller in here and get both of their thoughts at the same time, William Tiller, because I know Justin White is second, Lance Miller is third. Those drivers will now be number 5 and 6. Joining Brady LaBeouf, by the way, by virtue of the points, he has a 1-point lead over Hunter Parsons going into the finale at Auto Club next week. Nate Mowers, 10 back. Joey Doucette, 17 back. Here's a difference. Joey Doucette was in number 1. Now he drops to number 4, but he is in the championship race. Lance Miller, Justin White, you drivers have advanced. Congratulations again to Blake Lothian. If we can get him in the booth, we'll grab him in just a second. It looks like he has popped in, but I wanted to get you guys' thoughts. Justin White, I'll let you go first. Were you looking for the win, or were you looking for the bigger picture, and that was to try to make it into the points run, and you finished second tonight at Talladega?
I usually play it pretty safe here at the Superspeedways because they tend to kind bring out some of the lower tier, like questionable moves and whatnot. I hear people blocking and whatnot, so you tend to lay in the back and let them wreck each other, out. But tonight I said I'm going for both stages and I'm going for the win. I'm going to qualify up front and I'm going to stay up front, and I ain't letting out of it. And lo and behold, we won the first stage, finished second on the second stage, which is 19 points. We were only 12 back, and at that point I knew if I just finished top 10, top 5, we were advancing to the playoff. We were advancing to the final.
William Tiller.
Guys, if I could, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Wesley.
No, go ahead.
I know. I was gonna say just a big congratulations to both of you guys, Justin White and Lance Miller here. It's a crazy race. It's a huge race. That's why we have both of you in here. All I gotta say is I tip my hat to both of you. You both came from 4 spots below that cut line. Both made it in now. As long as you win next week at Auto Club, it could be your championship. And guys, hats off to you. Great run here tonight, both of you.
Thank you very much.
Yep, appreciate it. Thank you.
I got to ask you this question also, Lance Miller. I asked Justin White, what was your thoughts going through this race? Obviously, being strategic, or was it just giving everything you had to try to win the race or be in the points position?
I tried to be as strategic as I could. I knew I needed stage points in both stages. I couldn't, with these super speedway races, I always want to try and hang back, and I'm not worried about stage points. I just want a good result. But I knew I couldn't really bank on that this week. So I saw Justin win the first stage, and I knew he was up there in the second stage. And I saw Kerry didn't get any stage points and was a lap down. So I knew that helped me. And I saw a couple other guys get involved in some wrecks. And after the first 2 stages, I thought if I could get top 5, I'd be able to advance, but I knew it was going to be close. And when we finished third, I thought for sure, and I pulled up the broadcast right away and heard I had made it. So I was ecstatic. I was shaking the whole race. That's the most aggressive I've ever had to race at a super speedway.
But listen, final question from me. You can thank your sponsors at the end of the rain, bro. We do have Blake Lothian. We'll grab him in a moment. Justin White second, Lance Miller third. I'll let you guys go in unison. Or let you go in that order is what I meant to say for second and third. Now that you have reached the end of the rainbow and you are in the final championship 6th round, what do you expect to do or accomplish next week at Auto Club? What type of race will you drive? Starting with Justin White.
I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to go out and do like I did at Talladega. I'm going to do save tires, but be aggressive and just go after it. Stay up front because I think we're going to Auto Club. I think and it's going to be very, very similar to this type of track. Tire wear is going to play a factor about 3/4 of the way through the run. And if you can keep out right front on it and keep it cool, you're going to rock it right straight to the front as long as you stay towards the front. I know Joey's going to be tough. Brady's going to be tough. Nate Maurer, he's going to be really tough there. So, and I know Lance is going to give it everything he's got too. But we're going to go for it. We're going to pull our bootstraps. We're going to get behind the wheel, pull them belts tight, and go after it.
Lance Miller.
Yeah, same thing he said. You just got to go for it. Try and feel out the balance the first 2 stages and figure out where you need your truck to be. And then the final stage is going to be whatever you got, whoever can save tires the best and stay up front and stay clean.
William, got anything else for these guys, buddy? I'll tell you what, it's going to be fun to watch them as their number 5 and number 6 seed, but you throw that all out the window because by virtue of whoever is the first finisher of the 6 drivers in the points, they will win the championship next week at Auto Club.
All I got to say, Wesley, is go get it, dogs. Y'all made it. You're in the top 6. All that hard work has paid off, my guys. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yep, appreciate it.
Let's grab Blake Lothian very quickly and put him into victory lane. We'll grab him and get his thoughts as he gets us his 3rd win of the year. Win number 3 for the driver of the number 43. Blake, you had nothing to run for except running for a checkered flag and winning your 3rd win this year. Man, it was crazy chaotic being in a race to win amongst a points battle, wasn't it? But you survive on top.
No, of course, and it's great to play spoiler, and especially in the playoffs. Everyone's been practicing all week. Their qualifying laps, everything. They had, they're talking in their team discourse, everything, trying to get the right strategy, trying to get the right race-winning move, and ended up playing spoiler tonight. So that's the greatest feeling in the world.
Blake, I was just looking at that points table. You've had 13 starts, 4 wins, 8 top 5s, 12 top 10s.
Whew.
What a run this season, man. Talk about, I know you're part-time, but talk about the success you've had in this part-time schedule.
Wow, I didn't even realize the stats were that good. And I guess all my bad luck has been happening Friday nights, but it feels like every other week is, we're getting into something, but I guess not on the Monday night series. It's, it's been clean sailing, I guess, here for sure. But, it feels absolutely amazing to have some consistency on this Monday night series for sure. We had Ray on the spotter stand all night long, working his butt off, helping me with strategy, spotting me all night long. So,
Blake, what is the your thoughts of what's to come next year? Are we going to see you possibly make a run for a championship, or is it just seeing how the chips fold with your scheduling and obviously real life racing obligations too?
yeah, so it's all up in the air because right now, for instance, we're racing this weekend at Tri-County, so we're gonna be missing the Friday night series for sure. Hopefully, making it back for next week here Monday night, but it all depends on what we're planning on next year. We have some pretty big things hoping to get signed in the next coming weeks, months, hopefully. But we're working real hard behind the scenes to try to get as many big opportunities as possible in real life racing. So it all depends on that. But of course, I'd love to run full time, try to run for a championship. Looking back on the consistency that Will brought up, I mean, we have the consistency, of course, to be fighting with these guys week in and week out. It's just determination on my schedule.
Well, Blake, big kudos to you, man. Before I let you go, thank your sponsors, and we'll see you next week at Auto Club as you try to spoil the party again.
Of course, thank you, Will. Have to thank first off El Bandito, Yankee Tequila, Wings and Wheels Foundations, GGT Energy Solutions, Wings and Wheels Foundation, POTUS ABC Kids, the Texas Law Book, Stick With It Motorsports, all my teammates on Stick With It Motorsports, Jeff Zippels for the opportunity, as always. You guys up in the booth are doing an amazing job. Always jealous of how great these broadcasts are now. I'm learning on my end how hard it is to broadcast and even just Twitch stream throughout a race. So I really, really kudos for all of you guys. Adam Flieger up there in the booth. Y'all are doing an amazing job week in and week out. Thank you.
Win number 4 for Blake Lothian here tonight. The spoiler in the DSR Electric 250 tonight at Talladega. William Tiller, let's get your final thoughts again. Brady LaBeouf, Hunter Parsons, Nate Maurer, Joey Doucette, Lance Miller, Justin White, a partridge in a pear tree. Anybody else is out. They will race at California Auto Club next Monday night to determine the Season 2 champion.
Honestly, Wesley, I'm still at a loss for words. All I can think about is wow. Wow. What a race. What a finish. What a championship 6 we have. We had 2 guys that literally came from the basement of the points table here, barely made it into the top 10.
That's right.
Both now qualify for finishing back-to-back in this race, 2nd and 3rd. We'll get them into that championship 6. And I remember how exciting it was last season when we did the championship 6. Coming into next Monday night is a race you do not want to miss, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Auto Club, we will crown a new champion here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series.
And remember, there is recruitment races, there is the Dash, there is the Clash. They will work on season number 3 very soon, about less than a month after we crown the champion for the new NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series every Monday night, of course, on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Thanks always to Serve Pro, Darren's Nail Gun Repair. Thanks also to the DSR Electric for sponsoring this race. We appreciate all the people that are a part of NASRA. Go to NASRA-racing.com to find out how you can join us. And again, the stage is set. 6 drivers, 1 race, Auto Club Speedway next Monday night to find out who will be the Season 2 champion. Awesome production, as always, by Adam Flieger. We didn't go to commercial tonight anyway. We stayed live on the air from green to checker, and we hope you enjoyed that commercial-free broadcast. For William Tiller, I am Wesley Outland. Thanks to the boss man, Brady LaBeouf of NASRA, Cody Knott, TJ Moore, the race director, all of our amazing staff. We'll do it again, Auto Club. Next Monday night, a champion will be crowned in the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series. Congrats again in closing tonight at Talladega. Blake Lothian, win 4 of the year.